You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
I think last week when Mark Davis spoke at the owners' meetings, I think it was pretty apparent that Antonio Pierce's future is unsettled. He was asked about the general manager, the head coach. He said he's viewing them separately, not as a package deal, with the Raiders having hired Tom Telesco during the offseason, made it very clear that each guy will be judged independently of one another. And he also said, yeah, I'll get to everything after the season. Like, if an owner is going to stand behind a guy, he stands behind a guy. Mark Davis didn't stand behind Antonio Pierce. So until he does, I think that's a question. It's also a little bit unfair to AP, considering all the quarterback drama that they've been through. They haven't had a quarterback this year. And so if Mark Davis, that's what he decides to do, well, again, Antonio Pierce was fighting a fight this year with one hand at least tied behind his back. Like, how are you going to do that when you don't have the quarterback? Was it their fault that the 6 quarterbacks went right in front of them in the draft and none of them were left when their turn rolled around? And I mean, it just was a tough thing to do. So they didn't have the type of quarterback play that I think it's fair to judge Antonio Pierce on, but it certainly didn't sound last week like he is an absolute lock to be back at all.
Okay.
Obviously this week, they still show up to play. What's that a testament to?
Everybody, coaches, players, staff, organization. I mean, guys are all in. Listen, man, we're not winning. What else to tell y'all? I mean, we're not winning. Shit, do I want to win? Hell yeah, I want to win. I want to keep sitting here looking at the same goddamn thing we're looking at every week and have the same discussion with y'all? No. We got guys that's battling, no matter. Next man up, right? You can poke armor and do all this stuff, but these guys are not budging. I'm not budging. We'll keep chopping wood, and at some point, the damn thing will break and go our way.
EP, in your discussions with Mark Davis, have you gotten a sense of where he stands as far as your status goes?
Me and Mark Davis talk often, and the conversation's been the same as they always are. Very positive.
Positive, conversations with Mark Davis. Do you feel like you'll be back next year? Do you feel like, you've made that case for yourself?
I'm under contract.
All right. Raider Nation. All right. Asylum, how you doing?
I'm all right. I was just going to say nice clap back at our Douglas Sinclair, our fucking troll, our Raider hater. He's always got to make a comment on the show, but
I'll put it up, guys. It's show, okay? Douglas Sinclair, who claims to be a Niner fan, but he's one of our number one viewers also. Congratulations on your life again. You lost the game again, and you did a good job. I'm proud of you. Well, Douglas Sinclair, I'm proud that you're able to put a sentence together, and I can understand what you're trying to say. And 2, even though our record is 2-12, at least we didn't have any players walk off the field in the middle of the game on prime time on Thursday night. Okay, so we might be losing, but at least we ain't quitting. Like you guys defending NFC champions, trying to, well, you're not going to go back anyways because the Rams took care of that for you. But thank you for watching our show. All right, Asylum, just wanted to put that out there. You know, we give all shout outs to all the people who watch our show. So,
I can't comment. I can't comment on this end. I have to go back and forth. So if I'm a little slow, I'm going back and forth. I'm playing, I got to play defense and offense apparently because it's not working. Oops.
It's okay. We just had to put that out there. I know, because they walked off. That's what happened. That's why you don't see the Niner fans, because they walked off with them. You know? You don't hear them talking no more. They just lost the Super Bowl again for the second time in, 5 years? So, it is what it is. So, but anyways, yeah, we had our loss too.
Thank you for filling in on Friday.
Yes.
So, see you in the comments and going. So, just wanted to say thank you.
And, we started 15 minutes late again because I was adding more stuff to it. But I feel like when we started 15 minutes late, we get all the views. So thank you for choosing the Cage Match as your entertainment and Raider news program. So, yeah, they only come out when they're winning, and then they lose, and then they don't when they're whining.
That's why they're whiners.
That's why they're the 40 whiners, All right, Asylum. Before we go anywhere with the show, let's do our greatest, favorite, most important segment. Sister.
I'm right here, Jack. I'm right here. I'm here every goddamn episode.
My sister, who, by the way, today's her birthday. My sister asked on Friday.
I did send messages on Facebook, but now I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Happy birthday, Alicia.
My sister did ask, "Is this a battle of the beards for a Friday show?" I said no. I said no. It's just a rendition of Raiders ZZ Top. Okay, so that's what it was. All right, all right. Asylum. Before we go any more deeper into the realm of the rabbit hole that the Raiders kind of put us in, let's go do our favorite segment, our famous segment, the shameless plug. Here we go.
All right, everybody, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. That way anytime a video's short or even a meme, because you know what? Our esteemed Oakland Raiders Savage likes to make a lot of that. So anytime those drop, you'll be able to see it, catch it, and watch it. And go. And if for whatever reason Roger Goodell wants to be a dickhead, even though we're losing and he still likes to do it, wants to shut us down for any reason, and Alicia, that's what she's here for. Well, let us know. You can catch us on Facebook, firstly on Oakland Raiders Savage's page, Oakland Raiders Savage, or my Facebook page, Asylum. And then when you're done with all this, we're done with shutdown, and you may be even done with the rewatch, go ahead and go visit WGG. Browse their wonderful items. At least we can vouch for it. We can vouch for it. We've tried them. Order something in discount code. Put Cage Match, one word, to get 10% off your entire order.
And it's been a while, but like we say, when you think of wins, you think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of W. Get that 10% off your whole entire order. Cage Match in the discount code CAGEMATCH, one word. And probably the reason why we're not getting any hits on W is because nobody wants to win. They say, let's go tank. Tank for Shador.
They want to tank, right?
Tank for the first pick in the draft.
We should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They got fucking lucky.
Yeah. You know what? The Niners should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl on our field. They couldn't do it. Okay? So, there you go, Douglas Sinclair. Shouts out to Douglas Sinclair inside the chat room. All right. Anyways.
All right.
Anyways.
Go to your Copa brother, Fabian.
to Fabian. Shouts out to the couple of Fabian. Go out there to his website, www.art and the number 4 lifer.com. Go there, check out his merch. I usually wear hats made by him. I don't have it today because I have them all over the place, and they weren't in arm reach or whatever for me to grab. So I have the other nearest. I got hats everywhere just in case. You know, some folks, they have weapons around the house just in case there's an intruder. Well, I have Raider hats around the house just in case there's a hater. So we got Douglas Sinclair.
Hey,
Raider hat.
I got hats and weapons all around the house, so it's all good. I know the feeling.
Go there. Check out his merch. And also shouts out to RaiderMan19, RaiderMan19.com, the RaiderMan from Richmond podcast. I don't know if he has it up, but I know that he's been working a lot lately, and I think I might have to, like I said it before, I think I might have to pick up his podcast and maybe have him do a show, his own show on the Cage Match channel. So that I might
we might be able to do that, make it work, help him out.
Right? Yeah, we might be able to produce that and make that work, because we want to make sure people who know who Raider Man is, because we want to get him to the torch one day somehow. I think Raider Man should be the head coach, if anything. If they're going to let go of AP, put Raider Man out there, get this team fired up and ready to go with that old Oakland Raider mystique. I don't want to say old, with that vintage Oakland Raider mystique in the Las Vegas Allegiant Stadium. Get him to the torch, get this team fired up. That's what you want to try to do. All right, shout out to Raider Man 19 and Asylum. Now, you heard the intro, the video after the intro about AP status. It's been going around. A lot of the like Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco has commented about it.
Shannon Sharp. They don't know what they're talking about.
We had played Richard Sherman's take on it last Wednesday. So it's become, I don't want to say it's become national media, but it has been sprinkled into the newsrooms. Yeah. Yeah. And we did have a game. We'll talk about the game that happened on Monday. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't a good game.
Was that Monday? Fuck.
Yeah, it was a high-scoring baseball game. We can say that, but it wasn't a good game. But
depending on which angle you look at it from.
I guess.
No, we'll get into that. Depending on which angle you look at it from.
Yeah.
There were good parts of that game.
Yeah. Well, okay. I forgot we had in a segment before. But before we get on that, there has been, speaking of news, there has been a lot of news that has happened in the last couple of days. Asylum. Yeah. Him with a shotgun is scary. Because that dude's crazy.
Hold on, I'm going to see if I can post, otherwise I'm going to have to. No, of course, I got to go. Okay, continue talking. I'm going to another screen.
Okay, well, then I'm going to start the Cage Match news update. I got it right here. Here we go.
This is CMN, a Cage Match news update.
Thank you, James Earl Jones.
All right, here we go. A lot of news today.
That was one of the last things he did before he passed away, and we appreciate him doing that for us.
Yes, we appreciate you, James Earl Jones, Mr. Mufasa, Mr.
The original
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, yeah.
The original Darth Vader. Okay,
that's
the original. Him and then Alzado. All right. Here's the first one.
Then we have Darth Vader. But like I say, he's the original because I heard something they're supposed to be coming out with a thing, a whole Darth Vader story. So it's going to be a different, obviously voice and everything for him. So
I hope they find it better acted than what they did in the prequels, because the guy who played Anakin Skywalker was way too whiny to become Darth Vader. Okay, way too whiny. All right.
He was also He was also way too young.
Yeah, it was just bad casting. All right, Here we go. The first one. Raiders interim OC Scott Turner has been linked to the University of North Carolina OC position as top candidate, tied to Bill Belichick, who just got the job last week. Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. I'm not trying to put we're not trying to do the the foil hats right now, but I just thought it was interesting.
I'm ready. Oh, okay.
I thought it was interesting that when he got linked to the job over there at the University of North Carolina, he had his worst game as a play caller for the Raiders. And you've seen the pictures, when it was intern, took over for Getsy, brought in North Turner, former Raider head coach, and his father, North Turner. So it was funny. I didn't even see North Turner. They showed him once up there in the booth, and North Turner wasn't there. It was just Scott Turner. So I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to.
Right there.
It was North Turner the whole time.
It's been North Turner the whole time.
The whole time. Just stay in the booth. Don't be on the sideline. Just stay in the booth, North. That's where you're good at. You did it for the Cowboys. You did it for the Vikings.
It was one hell of a bathroom break.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to, I'm just saying is that
I don't know. You think it was done on purpose so he doesn't get an NFL bid so he can go coach with Belichick? Or, is it there? Could that be there? Because it's hard to turn out an NFL job for a coaching for a college job. I know there's been some coaches that have done it, but you get the opportunity to put your name under the Belichick tree, right? So maybe he just wanted to make sure he didn't get a job offer.
I just think with the way it's been with the Raiders and the uncertainty of what's going to happen with one.
Yes, hit them likes, everybody.
Hey, thank you. I just think with the uncertainty of AP and basically the coaching and who's going to come in if AP is gone and all that, I think it's one of those things where let me just make sure I put my foot somewhere and have something, because this right here, I don't know. I don't want to miss an opportunity and then everything falls under my feet if nothing works out over here. So I'm just saying I just thought it was funny that he gets tied to the job before the Monday night game, and then all of a sudden, like you said off air before you went on air, is why were we in shotgun almost in every single play? The only time he was not in shotgun, Ritter was when they went to go spike the ball at the end of the game, trying to on that 2-minute drill. That was the only time he went under center was to kill the clock. So just saying, I'm not implying. Just saying.
But that made it so fucking predictable. We'll get it more into that, but that made it so fucking predictable and so fucking.
Shouts out to Peggy. I saw you put her up there. Shouts out to Miss Peggy. I believe we'll be able to do a show next week because
even in the comments she's hard hitting. Even in the comments she's trying to knock somebody the fuck out. We're gonna call her the Mike Tyson of the Cage Match Show.
You got to keep her. She's gonna. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say she's the Vontez perfect, and if you ain't looking, you become AP. AP. AB. What happened? What happened? Where did he go?
Which way did he go?
All right. A serious one right here. Defensive end Janarius Robinson suspended 3 games for violating the NFL substance abuse policy, which is basically the rest of the year. Not sure if he's going to go and try to fight it. This season, he has played in 8 games, a total of 8 tackles, 5 solo, 3 assists, and 1 sack this year. He's basically a rotational piece, got more playing time, as Kuntz was out, and then Basically was rotating out there, and Crosby, this could be stemming to the DUI that he got in February of this year. So NFL decided to come down on him, suspend him 3 games for that. Asylum, what do you think of that one right there?
We got to get more information. Obviously, the NFL, we don't know how that DUI has come out, so I don't know if it's related to that. It might be something else, pot. Who knows what it is? They're just saying substance abuse. So timing sucks because, we're hit hard in the defense to begin with. Rotational pieces have been our bread and butter in helping us. But at the same time, I know weed's legal in a lot of places. If it was that, I don't know what it is. But, there's a time and place to have your fun, do your shit. Be smart about it. Don't do it during the fucking NFL season when there are random drug tests, that happen. This is something. Look at what was it, Josh Gordon, who lost a career because he couldn't put the fucking, couldn't put the weed down. Ricky Waters is another one, which
No. Ricky Williams.
I'm sorry. You're right. Waters,
wrong running back.
Yeah. Same position, different teams. But
yeah,
Williams, same thing. I'm an advocate for the pot, so I really don't give a flying fuck. But there is a time and place, to be able to do your shit. This can cost you your career if you can't be smart and go. And just, again, we might not just have the details of the DUI, and it could be related to that. And if that's the case, we talked about it with the other God damn it, Snowden, who's dealing with that shit now. There's no reason to be fucking drinking and driving. Plain and simple. Be smart. Call an Uber. Call Lyft. Call your goddamn, whoever you play for.
Team representative or somebody. Yeah.
They all have something in place to get you home and be smart. Stop being stupid. I know you make all this money. I know they're young, all this shit, but stop being fucking stupid in this case, because as we all learned with Henry Ruggs and a few other things, a few other players and shit, you could end up hurting somebody else and costing you fucking not only your career, but your freedom.
Your freedom, your life, or somebody else's life. I wasn't laughing at the situation. You were just like, I'm down for the pot. And I'm all like, yes, in America, the melting pot of America. Some folks call it the smoking pot. I don't know. All right.
I use it for pain relief. Shit like
pain
that.
Relief.
No, that's what I use it for. I got sleep apnea, insomnia. I go down a list to give you all the reasons why I should be able to do it. But at the same time, the NFL is a job. I don't do that shit at work. You don't do that shit. I got a dangerous job that you don't want to be impaired to do your job. And the NFL is the same way.
Yeah.
If I can't do it for fucking, what is it, the 5 months that we play football, then fucking, come on. Don't be stupid.
It just basically is, you're in Las Vegas, and this is one of the things that a lot of us were like, watch what happens, when the team moves to Las Vegas, a lot of temptation out there and everything. There is a lot of Uber drivers, Lyft drivers. The team has representatives that take care of all that, whatever. Just call a relative, call a friend, call the team, call an Uber. You can afford an Uber, okay? You can afford an Uber. All right. So, anyways,
this is
next one
right here. By Dr. Strange 1, Raiders have more of a head coaching talent problem than a QB one.
There's a lot of factors, and we'll get into that.
No, we'll talk more about this, but the fact that he's talking about the QB problem, not being a QB problem, we kind of been saying the same shit in that one. We don't agree on the head coaching part of it, but we do agree with the quarterback part of it.
Team Ramrod, let's go. Sorry.
And Jeff here, even the NFL has, itself has drivers available for each team. So, there's just no reason, if it is related to the DUI, there is just absolutely no reason to fucking have a DUI if you play professional fucking sports.
Yes. All right, next one. Defensive end Max Crosby officially out for a season due to opting early for ankle surgery. Now, this news came before the Monday night game, which he was ruled out, of course, because he had this ankle surgery. He had this ankle injury that stems back to the Raven game, but it seemed like it got re-aggravated in the game against the Buccaneers, where he said he got rolled up on, and it was serious enough. They rated they had it as a grade 3 ankle sprain, which since the team's not going anywhere and anything like that, it's just time to, like, you know what, let me get a month head start on my recovery and go from there. And I mean, everyone was talking about how the defense probably wasn't gonna look all that great against the Falcons, but I mean, they held on their own. But you can still tell that Max Crosby was missing on that football field, and
a lot of key players were missing on defense. You know, and I'm glad, to be honest with you, I'm glad Max Crosby was smart enough to turn around and knowing that he needs to have this surgery to do it now. Just, you know, normally, you know, Max Crosby, I'm going to play till the end of the season, then I'm going to deal with this going. I'm glad to see him go out and be smart enough and say, let's do this now. You know, as we said, you know, it's not like we're in the hunt for a playoff spot, anything like that. It's just go ahead and, you know, get this handled now, start recovery early. And I'm sure this surgery, the recovery time might be slightly longer than the, what was it, the knee and thumb surgeries that he had?
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's what it was, but, you know, sometimes you got to protect the player from himself.
From what I heard, that kind of surgery, actually, he did get the surgery done. It was they called it what they call like a wraparound surgery or what? Brock Bowers had that. Brock Bowers had that surgery, I guess, last year in college. That the recovery for that is about a month, but you know, Max Crosby is about working out 24/7, 365 days a week. So get that done early. Have that last month that he basically opted out of to recover to start his offseason right on time. So that'll be a good thing where he doesn't miss a beat or miss any time going into the following season. He ends his 2024 season with 28 solo tackles, a 7.5 sacks, and he had the league lead in tackles for loss, which right here says 13.5. I thought it was 17. I don't know. I thought it was 17, but
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, Max Crosby, and he took to Instagram, and he wrote a very long message to Raider Nation, or to football and everything. Here's what he got. And this is not the whole thing. This is the beginning, and this is the end. Here's the first part right here. Max Crosby says, as much as this pains me to write, I will not be playing the rest of the season. Second time this year getting rolled up on the same ankle, and now it will require surgery. As much as it pains me to not go to war with my brothers and for the fans, I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I have absolutely zero regrets with my process, my approach, and my discipline to this game. Instead of sitting out for over a month with my first high ankle sprain at Baltimore, I only missed one game, and I came back and fought all year because that's who I am. If I can go, I can make a difference. Unfortunately, I got chop blocked from the side and got another one, but even worse this time versus Tampa. He ends that message with, if I got a heartbeat, I expect to play for the fans that spend their hard-earned money to watch me perform and wear my jersey every Sunday. I do it because it means everything to me, and I will never change my approach to this game. Although I can't understand why this is happening, I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I can feel bad for myself and make excuses, but I effing refuse. I will. I don't curse because my mom's probably watching, so I'd be good.
I fucking refuse. I'll do it for you.
I will get the surgery and be on a warpath for greatness every day and be back the best version of myself. I truly believe in my soul that I'm changing the game one snap at a time and changing the way this position is viewed. If you don't believe me, if you have doubts, if you think I need to chill, good. Just watch me. Eagle emoji, because he's a condor. A diamond and hashtag limitless. So that was Max Crosby right there, talking about his surgery and his injury. So he will not be playing the rest of the season, as he had just got that done, I believe, yesterday. So was it Monday during the game? I know he's relaxing for right now.
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% on that. So I thought it was Monday, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and then now
for the last.
Speaking of ankle injuries, another one. Running back Sincere McCormick has been placed on IR after Monday Night Football with ankle injury. As you see right here,
Oh yeah, that's
it's got blocked. Thank God for the banner. He got rolled up on that play right there. That was in a second quarter of the game, and as they showed it, they told us, and I was upset because he was really showing out. You know, he finally got off of the IR going into the season, because I think he was on IR all of last season. Finally got off the IR.
I was wrong. See, Anna
Yeah.
correct.
And finally got his chance to play. He was showing out, and then he ended up getting hurt. I think he.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It took when he got drafted. Whatever, I forget the injury he ended up getting during the offseason workouts. It was, I want to say it was ankle related, but it might have been knee related, MCL, PCL, something like that. It took him 30 months to get back to be able to play, and then to go out after what, 3 games with an ankle injury?
4 games.
4 games. I was going to say 4, but I wasn't sure. Anyways, you know, to go out like this, I could see why he's upset and go, because he was proving himself, you know, right there. And to have this, you know, the one thing you don't want to be known for in the NFL is to be injury prone.
Yeah, especially at the running back position, which they already have a short lifespan, a short shelf life.
Well, lifespan in the NFL, yeah, that would work too.
Yeah. So, so I was upset because I had faith in him. Like, okay, this guy can be, you know, kind of like how we felt about Zamir White last year. But I was also more upset because I had him start on my fantasy, and he only got me 3 points because he got injured. And I also had Mooney. I also had Mooney for the Falcons playing, and he got no catches. And so I lost by 6 points, and I lost my number 1 seed. So now I'm playing in the 2nd seed. I still got a bye week, but I still want to be number 1. Okay, so just saying. Sincere McCormick.
So you had a bye week, so it didn't affect you at all, right?
I was number 1 seed. Okay, I was number 1 seed.
I got you. Okay, I got you.
When we did the draft, they said that I had the worst draft out of the whole league. I got a D-, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's like losing in the preseason, and then you just take off in the regular season. That's fine. And now I was 1st seed, and I lost by 6 points because I had 4 guys playing. I had 4 guys playing in the Monday night game, all in the same game. I had McCormick running back. I had Myers, Jacoby Myers receiver. I had Mooney for the Falcons. And then I had the Raiders defense. Raiders defense did okay. They got like 13, 14 points, but 6 points. I lost by 6 points. And I lost to a guy who didn't win.
I had 3 points in the Monday night game.
But I lost to a guy who didn't win any game at all, and he gave up like in week 3. He had Brandon Ayuk in his lineup IR, and he had somebody else, but because he had a player in that Bills game, and then he had somebody else, those 2 guys basically saved him. 6 points. 6 points. I gave him his first win, and I lost my number 1 seed. And I don't even think he knows because he gave up a long time ago. He doesn't even switch out his team. So, congratulations to me. Yes.
Any given Sunday, that's what we always say, right?
Any given Sunday, it's all a fantasy. All right, and last one right here. Quarterback Aiden O'Connell is trending up, according to AP, in his last press conference, to start against the Jaguars after missing start on Monday Night Football. He was questionable up until game time. He was questionable up until game time, and then they decided to go with Ritter as a starter, which I kind of figured to get that knee one more week of rest. But he was suited up as the 3rd string emergency quarterback.
As the emergency, yes.
And you see right here, you know, doing his feet work and everything, getting his knee moving around. He doesn't look too hobbled. He doesn't look too, you know, he looks like he's decent. So most likely, it hasn't been ruled yet, but most likely he would probably go out there and start because Ritter.
We had it according to Anna. Where is it? I know I saw it. It was early. Where? God
Well,
damn it!
I'm gonna do this real
keep
quick.
talking, I'll put it up. According to Anna, it's somewhere.
Desmond Ritter against the Falcons. I mean, he didn't play bad, but he didn't play great, especially going against your former team that drafted you. And then, hey, oh, wrong button. Hey, weapons and Raider hats. Okay, it's all everywhere.
Raiders hats. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. She said Fox 5 confirmed will play Sunday. That is the news affiliate out there in Las Vegas. I know because my auntie lives down there. Desmond Ritter versus the Falcons. He had 23 completions over 39 attempts, 208 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. That last one was a Hail Mary, but that one he overthrew. It was a bad pass. He overthrew
I was just going to say, I don't that Hail Mary. I don't count that interception.
Yeah,
I don't count that.
It's a prayer. You're praying,
Yeah.
so it's a prayer.
So I mean, he threw one legitimate interception.
Yeah, and he overthrew a couple wide open. There was that one play, and that was more on Mayer when he scrambled and he went to the right and he threw it right over everybody. And Mayer was coming down. The defender did tip the ball, so I guess the trajectory, big words here, guys. Trajectory. That word bounces off as much as it is describing what it means. The ball trajectory changed off of the defender's finger, so Mayer couldn't get that ball in when he was falling backwards. That was a good pass, but there was that one to Bowers, that deep ball to Bowers, where Bowers was in front of the defender, and he overthrew him. So, I mean, for his first start in almost a year, because he was on the team last year.
It was probably a little over a year now for his first start.
Mm-hmm.
Because he started for the Falcons to start off, and then this whole shit went down, and then he went, to
the Cardinals.
To the Cardinals and got cut, then put on the practice squad and all this shit. But I think by the time they took the Falcons took him out the year that he started a bunch of games, I think he's only started like 7 games total. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't have that up here no more. I didn't think I was going to need it.
Like I said, I think it's probably been close to a year since his last start versus this start.
Yeah. The offense in general.
We know, Jeff, and we're actually going to do a show coming up about that. Eventually, I don't want to put the comment up, because I think there's actually a better person to play that Al Davis in that movie.
Wasn't he? No. Yeah, wasn't he Batman?
Yes, Christian Bale was Batman for 3 movies, yes. The Dark Knight trilogies.
Didn't he have the raspy voice? Or that weird voice that I am Al Davis. Just win, baby. All right.
I just can't. I mean, he was also, and I think this has more to do with that movie he did with oh god damn it, what's his goddamn name? Dallas Buyers Club. I think he was in with, god damn it. All right. Fucking what's his
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, thank you.
How about Matthew McConaughey be Al Davis?
No.
Just win, baby. All right.
I have my opinion, but I'm going to save it for the show that we've talked about trying to do here for the last probably 2 months.
Yeah, before the season.
Was it before the season? So it's even been longer. Anyways, yeah. I have my opinion on who I think will be a better fit for that role, but we'll talk about that when we have that show.
Yes. I would have said, if it was a long time ago, this was in the 90s, I would have said Ed O'Neill, a.k.a. Al Bundy. I thought he would be a great one. But, no, it didn't happen. All right. So, looking at the offense, or I guess what you can call was an offense,
I guess I could comment, we'll put his comment up since we talked about it.
Yeah. Well, the Raiders offense, I mean, the rushing, Ritter was the leader in rushing when it came to yards, and he looked good as a running quarterback. He looked good. He got the
positive yard, and when he decided to take off, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when he decided to take off, that's what people have been saying they want, for a quarterback for the Raiders. When he, there was nothing open, and he literally just take off running because he saw open green space. That's what you want to see with the quarterback, is to take those. He did not look bad. I honestly thought it was more than 28 yards, but still, that's not bad right there. What you want to see. 5 rushes out of your quarterback. He didn't do anything stupid. He took care of himself, didn't take unnecessary hits, but he got the positive yards and helped keep those chains moving.
Yeah, it just when you're in shotgun the whole game, the defense they can just kind of key in and okay,
like the announcers, I forget who the damn announcers for the game were, but whoever the fuck they were, they kept saying you become predictable.
Yeah, it was Orlowski, and former Raider DB. I forget his name. I forgot his name, but he played for the Raiders like in the 90s. But yeah. Sorry, they were saying it's predictable because you're in one formation basically.
Yeah, I mean it made, and I get it. With going on, but like they said, go under center. Go. I mean, and we'll get more into details about the other things. But a lot of the shit that ended up happening was just because he was in shotgun.
Yeah,
shotgun has its advantages, but fucking hey, come on. Every goddamn play except for the damn spike. So I know we had they put a graphic up in the game. It was 39 offensive plays at that time, and everyone was in fucking shotgun. I think he had a total of probably 50 some odd plays, and that's like not double teaming goddamn Khalil Mack. You only do it 3 times in a game.
Yeah.
And expect him not to fucking go off, and then here you want to go in shotgun 98% of the time. I'm sorry, that's 99.9.
I mean, it was I don't know if they figure that's how he's comfortable in playing in Ritter, but then that means that you're a limited quarterback if you can't go under center, which is basically what you're taught first as a quarterback when you learn how to play football is to go under center. Then you go in shotgun. And I know offenses are different nowadays because they want that quick strike. Shotgun it's to help with the step back, but you're still waiting there because you got to wait for the receivers to go out. And I don't know. The way the game just looks so conservative. It was so conservative, and you talked about it. The shotgun. I'm sick and tired of seeing the running plays out of shotgun. I'm tired of it because you already put your running back at a 5-yard disadvantage behind the line of scrimmage. Let him get the ball right there, a yard and a half, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, where he's already boom. Shotgun it's lateral and then forward. When you're in like an I, the running back's already going forward when you have him the ball, so he already has that momentum going forward. I'm getting tired of seeing shotgun and handing off, especially in short yardage.
Goal line?
Yeah.
You're on the 3-yard line, 4-yard line, whatever it was. You hand off, Madison gets dropped on the fucking 1.
Yeah.
Then what you run the same fucking play in the end zone, and then it goes for a safety. I can't blame Madison on that. I got to blame the fucking play calling flat out because, that was, like you said, starting in shotgun. The running back's at least a minimum of 5 yards behind, if not 7 to 8 yards behind. And then you expect them to be able to get to the line, bust through the line, and then turn around and get positive yards off the fucking goal line? The only thing I could think of was they did not trust the offensive line, so they're saying, let's just stay in shotgun to be able to give Ritter as much time as fucking possible. Well, and I hate to say it, you're going on Parham, but Meredith had his problems too.
Meredith had a couple calls on him too.
Couple? I think he had 3 penalties on him by himself. And then when he didn't have a penalty, it was like, it seems like he forgot how to block there a little bit. Him and Parham must be roommates.
Well, it just seemed like everybody forgot how to block. I mean, the same guy almost blocked 2 punts. He got a finger on one. It did go out, but for 30 yards. And then he came back again on the next one and blocked that punt. The same guy. Block 2. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say, it just seemed like I can say I don't know what happened in this game, but it just seemed like I'm not saying the offensive line has been our strong point, because it has not been our strong point. They have played better within the last couple of games since they've been starting the same combination for the last 5. This will be, I think, the 6th game they started, but special teams was bad. The offense was predictable. The defense was doing the best they could, and especially with the short field, the short yardage. I mean, defending the short field off of what we did on offense. Jack Jones has regressed this year. He got bit on that shoulder fake.
Oh, that touchdown. I see Jack Jones not just on that play, even going to the point of they put him on special teams. I don't know if it was a demotion or trying to see what we got. And he let him fucking down on the fucking 3-yard line. He didn't even try to block the guy. He just stared at him like he did Patrick Mahomes in that interception. I mean, we might be seeing why New England, had their issues with them. He did more than regress. It seems like he doesn't want to be there. Now, I don't even want to say he doesn't want to be there. He just seems like
he's checked out?
Yes, there you go. Checked out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see him back there at punt return. What up, Hollywood? I was surprised to see him back there towards the end of the game, fielding a punt. I'm all like, wait, what happened? I know we had McCormick, but McCormick wasn't back there, so I know he got hurt. I know Olave is doing kick return, but I haven't seen him do punts yet.
I didn't see him out there all game.
Nah, Abdullah and I know DJ Turner was the punt returner. He got hurt last week, so he's on IR. So yeah, I was surprised to see, unless because we were now thin on running back, that they went and just kept Abdullah and Madison. Hey, you just stay in running back. We'll go put Jack Jones back there. Maybe if he gets a feel for the football, it'll remind him how to go and get an interception. I don't know, because that play, and it wasn't like a Rich Gannon, sellout pump fake and then to somebody else. All Kirk Cousins did was he did a pump fake. He just shouldered. In baseball, that would be called a balk. In football, that became a touchdown against Jack Jones. So he faked the throw.
And he bit hard on that. It wasn't even like, a little bit and was a step. He bit hard. And I get it. They even said, the announcers were talking about, a ball hawk or, a player like Jack Jones.
Aggressive.
The quarterback and go. And yes, I could see that. But it looks like he didn't. I'm going to say it's shades of fucking Jamarcus Russell. Was he even watching any fucking film on this game? Has he been watching film lately? Because as far as I'm concerned, what I've been seeing, and yes, Jeff, I agree with you. The defense played fucking awesome this whole fucking game. They did, to keep it to only 15 points. Technically, we don't have Asylum's insane playmakers, but for me, this game, it was the defense as a whole. But keeping, let's go back the last 3 games at least with Jack Jones. What has he done but be a liability? You got a fucking rookie right now who got thrown into the position because of injuries, who's outplaying Jack Jones.
Yeah.
Who last year had that chip on his shoulder And it's almost like he's too comfortable because AP's his guy, right? AP's been, fought for him, everything else. I'm not going to go nowhere. I don't need this chip on my shoulder anymore. What do I have to prove? And now he's playing like shit.
Yeah, and him, AP, with the whole business decision thing that happened earlier this year, and he happened to be one of them.
Part of that.
Yeah. So I don't know, and I put this up because, yeah, the defense played good. Raheem Morris did not want Raheem Morris did not want Kirk Cousins to throw the ball because once he got that interception.
After that interception, it was run. Okay, we'll throw here because we have, it's basically what it is. Run, throw here. To the point, after the game, his comments was, Kirk Cousins needs to play better than this, to keep going. Then the next day, or today, it was within just a few days, he has now been benched, and Penix is going to fucking take over, which I find funny because they're playing the Giants, which I think Raheem Morris, reason we played Kirk Cousins and not Penix is he knew with that defense we had, Penix was not going to survive. They would have lost the game and go. So he put his best logical player, Kirk Cousins, who barely won the game. And the only reason they won the game was the run game. Me and Jeff talked about it on Friday. You have to watch out for fucking Bijan Robinson, who had a decent game. He had 100+ yards against us, but the defense was still able to step in, 168 total. And we actually stopped Algier, who only had 43. So, 125. So, the one person we feared turned around and had a hell of a game, but the defense still, when it came to crunch time, did their job. Spillane got that interception, which kind of came out of fucking nowhere. It was just one of those, oh shit, we got the ball. Unfortunately, we didn't do nothing with it. But still, it comes down. The one person we had to worry about with the defense the way it is was Bijan. He had a decent game, but is there any touchdowns? He had a long of 29. He was just beating us down, and then we were able to buckle down, get the ball. That defense held him to 15 fucking points. Okay? Now, I'll go this far. You don't give up that safety, right? You had that safety. You give up the safety to make it 5-6 points. Okay? Let's just say you don't give up the safety and we make that extra point instead of getting fucking blocked. Now you're at a 3-point deficit at the end of the game where we're at. Instead of throwing the Hail Mary for the interception, you're now close enough for a field goal. Get the field goal and go into overtime and rely on your defense to hopefully keep you in the game and come out in overtime and get that win.
It was just a weird game because, we had this trick play with Jacoby Myers, which usually works, but we ended up getting sacked on that one. No one was open. I don't know if the coverage, it's like they knew what we were going to do.
Receivers going. I mean, he had a chance with whoever was on the other side, but I mean,
and then the fumble.
That was just a nasty hit. I mean, for it coming out, I mean, bam. I mean, Madsen was out for a little bit after that. You see him just laying. He hit the ball with his shoulder. I'll give him that, but he also hit him in the head.
The partially blocked punt.
Yeah. I mean, special teams letting us down again. That's 2 games in a row now.
Yeah, you see the guy is right.
It was the Chiefs game. Then they had a decent game, and then turn around and let them down here.
Yeah. But this is like simple blocking. It's like we forgot. And here's the play that was just, what are you doing? What are you doing, Scott Turner, calling this?
I mean, how many yards behind is that? You expect them to get? I mean, come on. You know,
See, if that was the play, I'd rather you go and fake the handoff, so play action and roll it out and run. Since he was running, let him run it then. Let Ritter run it. Let Ritter run.
I let Ritter run. I'll take my chances with him passing at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and here, this was great though. If it wasn't for this one player coming up, he might have got the first down.
He might have got a touchdown.
He might have, but I think going, you know, he just happened to get, you know, the leg slapped just right. But this is it.
It was the same defender, the same guy, right there, the same guy,
and on both
wide open gap.
Somehow misses hitting the damn kicker to avoid the penalty
because he was right. He had a free, wide open lane. I wish our offensive line can do that and have a wide open lane like that for our running back. But I mean, this was just this is what we saw in this game, where we were just like, "What are we doing? What? How do we forget how to block? Special teams was our strong point, and like you said, the Kansas City game, three missed field goals in Kansas City, we could have beat them, and then just guys who forget that the up man, the personal protector. He forgot who he was supposed to protect. Like
they even said, they showed when I forget the name of the guy who blocked it. God damn it! But when he moved, the personal protector moved. Or no, the personal protector moved. Then he moves, and he didn't make no adjustments and clearly whiffed. You know, on that block, plain and simple.
Anna throwing out fact grenades. Yes.
Well, I think that was going. It was either this comment or that comment.
Well, I'm just saying. Anna goes out.
Anna ain't afraid.
Yeah. But I mean, and we're not trying to say that they're tanking, but it was just weird. Not going back to when we talked about Scott Turner. You get tied to another job that's probably more secure right now for you. And you can okay, I know what my future is, and then you have. I mean, you haven't won a game yet as a play caller, but this was one of your worst play calling as a Raiders OC, intern, whatever, Raiders OC.
Shit, probably in his career.
It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense, and everyone can be like, "Oh, you armchair coaches, you armchair offensive coordinators." But it's like, it's common sense. If you know the game of football, you know common sense when it comes to football. Like you said, Asylum, why would you go in shotgun when the ball was placed between the 1 yard line and the goal line? Why would you go in shotgun and then run the ball? And then the play before that, you ran that same play the play before, and he barely got past the goal line to avoid the safety. Well, hey, I got an idea. Let's run it again. Safety, 2 points.
When it's 3rd and 29 or whatever the fuck it was, why are we running the ball? Right? I mean, there was plenty of field for a punter to be able to go. It wasn't just to give him more room. Why didn't we try throwing the fucking ball? Why didn't we try? We talked about, they were trying to scheme some run plays for Ritter, which I can understand that. And, some of them didn't work out. Ritter had success on the broken plays and deciding to run, and go. But I get you trying to scheme some shit, but at least give the Ritter's 3 years in the NFL. He's played college. He knows how to play under center. Okay? Give him the fucking chance. He got the start. He got the reps. If he was going to tank, or not tank, if he was going to, stick it up and suck, he's going to stick it up and suck. Why was it that final drive, 2-minute warning, no huddle, quick fucking, play, everything just snapping together? Why did he fucking, this is for Peggy. This was fucking Scott Turner. I'm telling you, he knows how to play under center. I'd rather him screw up throwing the fucking ball instead of running, when you're in your end zone. Let a running back, let a wide receiver go 3 fucking yards, catch the ball, see what he can get to get further away. Why are we, running on 3rd and 29 like he's going to get the fucking first down? The play calling was, I'm going to say it, I'm sorry, but I think the play calling in this game was worse than any game Luke Getsy had.
It had that same feeling. Like, what, did he come back? Hey, man, redemption time. Let me try it. On Monday Night Football. Your only primetime game this season. And the fans of both the Falcons and the Raiders, all NFL fans is all like, this is what we got to be subjected to. This is the closing out game. They had 2 doubleheaders. I mean, they had 2 games in doubleheader. They had Vikings and Bears, and then they had us and the Falcons. And the Viking Bear game had more points scored, of course.
Had 30 points fucking scored.
Yeah, but it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It was just a bad game.
Here's the other part. In the play calling, right? Why was it the end of the game we finally started throwing to receivers? Why was it only tight ends and running backs we were throwing to?
I don't know. Because that was another issue too. Even the announcers were saying like, they haven't had any shots going to any receiver. And the first play they finally throw it to Jacoby Myers. Pass interference on the offense.
That was a bullshit fucking call. It was within 1 yard. Within 1 yard, and he did it. Hold on. I thought within the 5 yards they're allowed to fucking tangle, right? A defensive quarterback, he has 5 yards to be able to put his hands on a receiver.
Yeah. You know what we say to that?
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
Yeah, to the ref. Because you're within that first one. It's supposed to be the first 2 yards, right?
Well, I know defenders in the first 5 yards, unless the rule change, it's definitely within the first yard. Even the announcers were talking about this. Within the first yard, you're allowed to be physical. And that was within the first fucking yard. He turned around and pushed off as soon as it. And to be honest with you, I rewatched the game today. I did not even see full extension on his arms. He just kind of pushed, turned around, got behind the line of scrimmage, got the ball, and then came back out and got positive yards. And then the other bullshit call, that Spillane to the helmet fucking call when he batted down the pass.
He batted down the pass, and then he hugged him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he came down and then hit his shoulder pads or his helmet. He went like this, and then he adjusted, and then he hugged him. And they threw the flag. And then when you show the replay, not even his helmet touched his helmet.
Like I said, I don't remember seeing him. They said the face. Even the announcer said that was a bullshit call.
Yeah.
How the fuck? When it's at a point of affecting the game, it's almost like they want the Raiders to lose, have that number 1 spot. You know why? Because they know we're going to draft a quarterback, and we do so well with the number 1 spot in the quarterback drafting. So well. We have so much, and it's going to make us relevant again.
Speaking of this whole thing when it comes to the draft and all that, whatever, I was just reading different articles, preparing for the show, and then what somebody said, I don't know who said it, but basically we all who are for AP, rip his head off.
I did.
Referees.
That was the 2 fucking calls that were straight bullshit. I just went straight for the throw. I did fucking 300 style. This is Florida.
Now kick him down a hole. Down the black hole. One of the things I read, and the guy who wrote the article had said this, and it makes sense. So now AP is in a lose-lose situation because it's, well, if you win, you lose because now you drop out of, because I think I heard that if they would have beat the Falcons on Monday, they could have fell all the way down to 7. Is it 5?
No, I thought it was 5 if they won. If it was the game before that, it would have been 7.
Yeah.
In this case, it would have dropped them to 5. I could be wrong, and I might have them reversed. I might have them reversed.
But it's like okay, but if I lose, I'm a bad coach, and I know he's making a lot of rookie mistakes, and that's
mistakes. I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to say 2 things here. Oh, okay, according to Jeffy, I guess you were right. It was 7. Okay. I just got to reverse. I thought it was 5. Anyways, there's 2 things I want to say about this when it comes to AP and this shit here. Okay. One is, you're talking about lose-lose. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with a lot of shit. Yes, there was rookie mistakes being made, especially early in the season. I see him kind of fixing a lot of his mistakes. I thought, maybe that first time out in this game, in the fourth quarter was a little early, but he's been doing better with his play calling, or not his play calling, his time management, to be going. He's done better on his challenges. That shit. So, he's making some mistakes, but they're not big mistakes that are costing us the game. Now, there was another podcast. I'm not going to say the names or anything like that, but apparently there was somebody in the comment. They made a short about it and everything. Apparently there was this guy gave an Uber ride to AP's nephew. And he showed a text or whatever it was going that basically this is what Mark Davis wanted. Mark Davis turned around and said, tank this year, do whatever. It's going, but you're guaranteed to have your job next year. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know why you would make a whole fucking whatever video about it, being that, speculation. I can't see Mark Davis wanting to lose. I can't see Mark Davis wanting to fucking, go. I can't see, as a first-time head coach, AP wanting to fucking tank. Wanting to be 2-12, wanting to go into, the number 1 spot. He's got himself to prove, because why? If Mark Davis pulls Mark Davis, and he's been known to do this, and fucking fires him after this year, right? He's going to want to try to get a head coaching job in the future. And to sit here and purposely do this because your owner told you to, I mean, come on. I remember a time we owned Monday night. We had a losing season, but when we played on Monday night, we fucking turn around and would still win. Monday night was a Raider win. We owned Monday night. Now we can't see out of our own goddamn way.
And this wasn't updated. The bottom should say 2-12. It wasn't updated. But yeah, like you said, and we can go back to, like, say, Jack Del Rio, 2016, 12-4 in the playoffs. Carr got hurt though. They could have had a home game. Carr got hurt, ended up in a wild card because they were chasing the Chiefs in for that number 1 for the AFC West. Carr gets hurt. They lose in the first round against the Texans. Jack Del Rio gets a 5-year extension. Next season they go, I think, like 5-11 or 6-10 or something. They didn't repeat the same success. They had switched offensive coordinators to Todd Downing, so they didn't work out. John Gruden became available-ish. Okay, I can negotiate. Let's negotiate now. So after he gave Jack Del Rio a 5-year extension, he fires him.
Yeah.
The following year after that, Rich Bisaccia, he took John Gruden's team. Because when John Gruden had to resign, he took John Gruden's team and he got them to the playoffs. And they were a long shot, gets them to the playoffs. We're 1 play away from beating the Bengals in Cincinnati. Now we're trying to decide who's going to be our coach, and the players wanted Bisaccia at the time. Ended up with Jack. We ended up with McDaniels. So he lets Bisaccia know, I'm going to go with somebody who has won, quote unquote, as an offensive coordinator with Tom Brady, who wasn't even the first coordinator when Tom Brady won his Super Bowl. That was Charlie Weiss. He went with Josh McDaniels, and you see how that happened. So It's like Mark Davis, he keeps saying, "Oh, I stay out of it. I stay out of it." But then he makes these off the wall decisions. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when John Gruden was came back for a second stint, yeah, as John Gruden, he took us, his team that he built took us to the Super Bowl. His team that he built, because Bill Callahan, who was a coach in 2002, he followed John Gruden from Philadelphia over to the Raiders in his first stint. So that was John Gruden's team, even though it was the offense was opened up more with Mark Tresman as offensive coordinator. But that was John Gruden's team going against Tony Dungy's team, but the offense was run by John Gruden in that Super Bowl. But him coming back, I'm all like, okay, we got a guy who knows how to be a Raider head coach, because you can be a head coach and then you got to learn how to be a Raider head coach. See, there's two different things. That's why there's 31 other teams, and then there's the Raiders. You got to know how to be a coach for the Raiders, not just a head coach, but a coach for the Raiders. So I was excited for that. But,
but go. I got two things here. First, to Cannon's comment here, about Ritter was the closest to winning in 11 games. You forget 3 games, Black Friday when fucking Aiden O'Connell basically damn near won that game.
Mystery field goals.
If it wasn't for 3 missed field goals or a fucked up snap, O'Connell would have won that game. So you're a little wrong with Ritter being, the only one to come closest, because O'Connell damn near beat the top team. But going with you saying about AP, God damn it, I lost my train of thought.
What I was saying is that
I got it. AP, what's the one thing you've seen out of this Raider team in this now 11-game losing streak, right? Is that what it is, 11 games?
10 game.
10-game losing streak? What's the one thing you've seen out of this 10-game losing streak, with all the injuries, with games that we're supposed to be fucking getting our asses handed to us? What's the one thing you see going?
They're not quitting.
They're not quitting. And yeah, one Hail Mary, one fucking snap short. Come on. Really. If it wasn't for that snap, field goal wins that game, and we were in field goal position. If it wasn't for that snap that turned into a fumble. Come on. We share a name, but you know what? Be realistic. Okay, I'll even go this. Coin toss. Jeff being the moderator here. It's a coin toss between the two, but you can't turn around and say Raider was the only one. But
or it could be a coin toss between the two teams. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
No, AP's got the. You don't see this out of a 2-11 or 2-12 team. Look, do you think the Giants are fucking in these games? You think the Giants players are playing for their coach? The fuck they are.
Yeah, they're in uncertainty too with Gable.
Yeah, which I know Jeff wants Gable as our offensive coordinator, which is fine. The point. Oh, okay. Well, there's that too. But we're talking about Jack Jones looking like he's given up on the season, right? We talked about that. But are you seeing any other players giving up? And to me, that's earned enough. I know this is a bad season, but to me, with what you're seeing out of these fucking players right now on a 10-game losing streak, on the way shit's going, and yet you got them playing hard, got them fucking competing, got them trying to win fucking games. Why are we going to get rid of that? You can't get rid of fucking AP right now. You have to keep him. Give him at least one more fucking year and see where we go from there.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Like, you look at this right here, 2-12. So us and the Giants are the only 2-12 team. And it goes back and forth with who's 1, who's 2, based on the strength of the schedule, which one site says the Raiders are number 1, another site says the Giants are number 1. This is from Tankathon.com, that website. That's where this graph comes from. But if AP wins, we drop down. Now we got to trade picks to go back up. If that's the case, if AP loses, so you look at him again, it's another game for a losing streak. So what are you supposed to do as coach? As a head coach, what are you supposed to do? Because the fans will get upset who wants the number 1 pick, because You know, everyone is on Shador Sanders. Cam Ward is out there, and then you have the Heisman Trophy winner, Hunter. So,
Hunter, yes.
Yes,
I will laugh my fucking ass off if we take him with the number 1 pick. I will be happy. I know Jeff wants it too. We end up with the number 1 pick and we take Travis Hunter. I will fucking die because you know why? You know for a fact Raider Nation will blow. It won't even wait. Every goddamn show that will be on will turn around and fucking talk shit, say Telesco needs to be fired on the spot, this, that, the other. But I think the way to go would be Travis Hunter. I made my position clear on this. I want to give O'Connell at least 1 more goddamn year.
Yeah. It's I'll go off of this comment right here. I'm gonna give Ritter credit for one, his emotions are probably high going against your first start. So it's not like he started, last week or whatever, and now he got that first game cobwebs and jitters out the way, and now I get to face a former team. So you're going against your former team. I don't know what kind of play calls Scott Turner was doing. So he's working. He has to do what he's told because he's new to this system. He's new to this organization. He's had 2 offensive coordinators in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He was a Raider, so he had 2 offensive coordinators when he came in already. He already had 2. He played it. He played as best as he could with what he had. For some reason, I don't know why they didn't target the receivers. He tried to go to Bowers early. I would say that the balls he threw high were probably just the excitement. I don't want to say nervousness, but just like that, you're overhyped. You're going against a former team. When you're going against a former team, and I'm going to base it on fast pitch softball. I was on one team for a long time, and I decided to go play with another team. And now I'm batting, and I'm a better outfielder than I was a batter. But I went to go bat, and there was bases were loaded, 2 outs, and I just kept foul tipping, and then I bit on a bad changeup, struck out. I could have scored a 2-run double or something against my former team, and then in the outfield, I'm always diving. I catch every ball, but for some reason, I went to go dive for this little short ball that was hit to me. I was playing center field, and it was hit short, so I ran in. I dove. I landed on my ribs. I went sideways, and I had it in my glove, bounced over my head because I hit the ground. So the glove bounced up, and I rolled down my back, and I tried to catch it one hand back there, but I couldn't catch it. And I was at the one play where I could have showed up and like show off and showed out. That was my one chance against my former team, and because you're overhyped, you want to kind of show what you let go. So yeah. I'll give Ritter for the emotions that he was going through with his first start in a long time. He did well with what he had. He looked good with the experience that he had on this team and this offense, and in general.
He looked good on that final drive.
Yeah,
good, and he looked good with with his decisions on when to run the ball. Not when the play was designed for him to run, but when nothing was there. We saw what was it, that first down he ran for? It was one of those. He saw it right away. They were covered. He saw open field, and he took off like that. He didn't give anybody time to make a decision, even the fucking linebackers, because we didn't have a running game, so you can't say, going. But everybody was surprised when he took off because that's the one thing they don't expect us to do, not with our quarterbacks. It's the one thing we wanted. You and me both said it. We want Aiden O'Connell to be a little bit more mobile. When you have that opening right there, take those yards. We didn't need the first down. Getting 7 yards, 6 yards out of that is a positive play. And he looked good in that. Yes, I guarantee replay here is everyone's excuse on why we need a mobile quarterback. That's what they're going to say. But the problem is they want Shador. They want Cam. What are they going to fucking do first? They're run-first quarterbacks. They're a Lamar Jackson-style running quarterback. And Lamar Jackson's had great seasons. I'm not taking anything away from Lamar Jackson. But has he made it to a Super Bowl? Has he made it out of the playoffs?
I think the close he got was the AFC Championship game in 2021, I believe. 2021.
To the final game, but they lost it.
They lost it to the Chiefs.
So, I mean, that's the thing. I'm all for a mobile quarterback, and we went through the definition of this show.
That's wrong. It was 2020. 2021. No. 2021, they lost to the Chiefs in the division round. Then the Chiefs played the Bengals, and then the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. I think that's how it went.
It's anyway. My point being, we want some. We went through the definition between a running quarterback and a mobile quarterback on the show plenty of times. I'm all for a mobile quarterback, a quarterback who's willing to run when the time is needed. That's part of the NFL. But I don't want a Lamar Jackson. I don't want a running first quarterback. Because it's going to be, one, you have injury problems that you got to look towards. And Lamar Jackson's had a few injuries that's taken him out of, key times of the season, and going, as well as when all they want to do is run, it starts to show, and it goes. I'm not a quarterback who has the pocket presence to be able to fucking throw the ball, but when he makes his reads 1, 2, 3, nothing there. I see open field. Not that it's 3 yards, but I see 10, 15 yards ahead of me. Granted, everyone's going to start coming to get those 7 yards when the time matters. I thought Ritter did great on those type of plays. Broken plays that allowed him to use his athletic ability and run. But that could be taught to any fucking quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, it's difficult when it comes to the.
I'm sorry, Jason. Here, Shador has Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter has made Shador look better than he actually is. If he didn't have Travis Hunter, I don't think Shador would be fucking in the talks for the possibility of being the number 1 pick.
I haven't watched any tape yet. I got to do my research on this when we start getting ready for the draft in April. So I can't comment on that yet. I'm not going to just comment just to comment. So I'm going to say play the fifth.
Not a bad fucking 40.
But it's just when it comes to the current quarterbacks on our roster. And I know folks can be like, we saw the best of what we saw in Aiden. We saw the best of what we saw in Raider. We saw this and we saw that. And of course, Minshew's probably the odd man out because everything outside of the collarbone injury, the way he looked, I don't know. But this is kind of like what I said last year as we switched because McDaniels was the offensive coordinator. He was the play caller. Lombardi was the coordinator, but he was the play caller. McDaniels was, and it was hard to judge the players you had because of how bad the offense was, how bad the team was. Now, when AP took over, more so the defensive side got better, partly because he allowed Patrick Graham to do what he can, do what he does as a defensive coordinator. No, he wasn't handcuffed. Because you saw that the defense changed, and this is when AP took over last year in 2023, from week 9 to the end to week 18. You see the points allowed, 15.3 first, takeaways 13, was tied for 6th, defensive touchdowns 4, which was first, sacks 24, which is tied for 5th, penalties only 24, which is first, and I don't have the comparison for the penalties, but going into this year, 2-12 record, 28th ranked offense, 32nd in rushing, 78.1 yards a game, 29th in scoring, 17.5 points a game. It's kind of like last year where McDaniels couldn't even get over 20 points. Did we ever go over 20 points? Okay, the Panther game, garbage time. We beat the Ravens 26-23. But outside of that, well, and then the Bengals game, garbage time. The Chiefs game.
The Carolina garbage time, Chiefs game, we were at 20, yeah. 19-19. I mean,
yeah, and then 12th ranked defense. We thought they were going to be top 5 at least. Injuries has a big part of that. 27th in points allowed, 26.9 points a game. 31st in takeaways, only 8 interceptions. That when one fumble recovery that happened last week against the Buccaneers, the announcers had said that they haven't got a fumble all year, and then they get a fumble. Oh yeah, there you go. Negative 19 turnover ratio. I don't even know. We might have had like one game this year where we did not have a turnover, but outside of that, we've had a turnover on just about every single game we played this year. And of course, the 10 plus players on injury reserve.
Haven't we had multiple turnovers every game?
Yeah. Just about. The Chiefs game was the only one turnover, and that was that last play of the game. The Friday night game. So we've gotten in our own way, and yeah, that can point to the head coach. Huh?
I said, and who was playing that game? It wasn't.
It was O'Connell, but we have gotten in the way of our own selves in just about every game this season. But it's like when it comes to,
I was going to say those stats are kind of skewed. Not just because of the Chargers game, which I'll give Jason on that one, but the injuries, everything else that's gone on for the season, going, we've had injuries. We've had to fucking, revamp the offensive line, which has gotten slightly better. Keyword, slightly better.
Slightly.
We had Getsy, which was definitely a last choice, when it came to OC. It wasn't our first. We did have I'm sorry. Okay, last year said, yeah, okay. You're definitely right on that one. Or that 63-point win, or 63 points, yes. Definitely true on that one. But anyways, Getsy wasn't the first choice. He may not have been the second choice. It was a scramble. We don't even know if he was AP's choice at that point. But we definitely needed an offensive coordinator, and we've had Peggy on the show who would have rather gone other ways. Hindsight's always 20/20, when it comes to this shit, But a lot of this going into, you have offensive coordinator that was a weak spot with Getsy. I got off my horse and fucking admitted it. Then you change coordinators, and you change O-line coaches, and you change this. And then, you got a team that's still showing fucking, that they're willing to go to battle. Like that a note you put up for Crosby. The fact that he can't go battle with his brothers. You got people in here, other than the guys making stupid decisions with drunk driving and everything else, but you got everybody else going in here who's still playing for each other. They're not playing for themselves. They're not playing like this. They're playing for each other. I have not seen a team with this kind of a record playing as hard as you see playing right now for a coach based off of, your play callers here. We've gone downhill. Well, Todd Downing wasn't necessarily the choice, but, after Bill Musgrave, we've kind of just gone downhill, on this, and a lot of interims. Look, fucking 3 interims on there. Right off the fucking bat.
Greg Olsen, Bo Hardigree, and Scott Turner.
So, you got integrams going. You got, Getsy, again, was not everyone's choice. A lot of people, we've had fucking Peggy since before the season started on the show talking about what the fuck, is going on, and Getsy. He can't do the job. It's right. Okay. Just like Josh McDaniels couldn't do the job. A lot of us knew that already when he got hired, But those are lumps that we have to fucking take at the time. It was the choices being made. So whether it was AP because he felt he had no other choice, so they settled on Luke Getsy, or Telesco for the same fucking reason, to me, it's all about getting the right people in the right positions. So an offensive coordinator, which we talked about for the last couple of weeks, getting a proper and good offensive coordinator in here to deal with either A, the possibility of us drafting one of these quarterbacks and having to groom them and get them ready for the NFL and get everything go in there, or whoever you bring in, whether it be O'Connell because he's on the team, right now we're linked to fucking we're linked to Cousins already again. We're linked to fucking Sam Darnold already, all this shit. Whether you do that route, go, you still need an offensive coordinator who could turn around and game plan for your strengths, who could get yourself an offensive line. And I believe in Telesco. I think Telesco can get the key players to come in free agency and in the draft to fix this goddamn offensive line problem.
I was reading Douglas Sinclair came back with a whole paragraph, and
that's understandable again.
Yeah, I don't know.
He went back to his ways.
I don't know. And I mean, and in a way, whoever they tried, whoever was in charge of deciding, because I guess the scenario I keep throwing out there, the idea was that let's put some veterans around AP, like a veteran offensive coordinator, which was Getsy, even though he only had 2 years calling plays for Chicago before he left. After he left the Packers as their receivers coach. They thought, okay, he'll come in, and I know Kingsbury was just a signature away from being our offensive coordinator before he fled to Washington. But it's when it comes to the players on the roster on the offensive side, yeah, the offensive line, that's the one for sure thing that we need to make sure we shore up, because no matter who's back there, if the offensive line still can't block, that guy, like I said it, I think in the comments on Friday, Michael Vick in his prime are probably the only quarterback that can survive this offensive line. But outside of that,
and that might even be barely.
Yeah, because it's just too, and maybe the offensive line. There was an old story about when Raiders got when Raider a long time ago before Jim Plunkett took over, they got Pastorini. Yeah, I'm saying it right? The quarterback. They got him. Yeah. They traded him from the Oilers, the Houston Oilers. They traded Tatum for him. Came over here, and the offensive line wasn't used to him. I think he would pat the ball and then he would throw off the offensive line. Got his leg broken against Kansas City. Jim Plunkett comes in, different type of quarterback, different type of cadence. They got used to him because he stood back there more, so they were able to block. And of course, Jim Plunkett will run.
And what they did was pat the ball before he threw it.
Yeah. So the offensive line thought, okay, he threw the ball. So they start going to, oh no, he sacked because I thought he threw the ball. Like, as offensive line, you hear it. Yeah, it's noisy. You're going through this. I played offensive line, but you notice these little things. You hear these little things, and you go off of these certain little things. That's your triggers. To go to the next level, whatever. So, Pastorini breaks his leg against Kansas City. Jim Plunkett comes in. The rest is history. So I don't know if maybe the offensive line, Minshew, O'Connell, Minshew, and Ritter, and maybe it's just it's all three different types of styles of quarterback. Ritter was just the one time he played, of course in garbage time, whatever. But I don't know. Offensive line, though, there's no real excuse when it comes to running. They can't push a guy forward. Maybe it's because we're always starting off in shotgun, so the defensive line and all of them already get a head start because the running back is still back there, 5 yards deep. when he gets the ball, before he goes forward, Lions already collapsed in, and now we got the worst running offense in the NFL. So there's a lot of factors.
And I mean, I got the last two comments Jason had, about Kingsbury falling off at the end of the season. Yes, because he's predictable enough that people could scheme for it. And here, the running back style, that definitely helps too. We didn't have the right offensive line for the running backs that we have or had.
Or we didn't have the right offense for the offensive line that we have, the blocking scheme. And yes, there are two types. You got your downhill runner, and then you have your other that's like that patient cutback runner, which I think when McCormick, before he got hurt, he was able to adjust to this line, and then he can stop, like he can be patient and then cut through, which I like. Okay, McCormick, all right, because maybe we're starting to see that. Maybe Zamir White. I don't want to use the term one-trick pony, but he's a downhill runner, not necessarily a lateral and then go. His strength is going forward, all that power, all that muscle going forward. They switched offenses again because I think last year they went to more downhill running when Bo Hardigree was calling plays. They just went straight man-on-man, offensive line man-on-man, and just, go straight for the opening. But when it comes to that zone scheme, the running back, everyone's going lateral, the offense line's going lateral, the running back has to find that hole, that lane, and then just cut through. So that takes a lot of patience, which
patience,
vision. And so, I don't know. It's hard because you have to change offensive coordinators in the middle of the year. Like last year, you changed offensive coordinators in the middle of the year. And I get that comment. I get it. We do have a lot of stuff.
I disagree with it, though. I don't think we need to rebuild the whole team. The defense,
we have pieces.
I think the defense, we're there. We got you can add a player or two to make it better or to cover possibility players leaving. Now, I'll say you need to rebuild that offensive line.
Yeah.
You got two players that their job is secure in JPJ and DJ Glaze.
Yeah.
Now, Colton Miller, is it injury related still, or is it just he's lost a step and it is what it is? You know what I'm saying? And then the guards, on either side, are the possibility. Meredith has had ups and downs, but I think the potential's there for him. I don't know. I think Parham, unless he's at center, he's not. He's a good rotational piece if somebody's hurt. For short term. I just don't like where they keep playing Parham. I do like Parham, but I like him at center. Now JPJ has, I think, solidified his spot at center, and I'm not going to take that away. It's JPJ's. Give it to him and figure out what you can do with Parham.
Yeah, I don't think, because the way they look now, if this was the team that we rolled out with in game one, if this was the team that we rolled out in game one, then yeah, it's a whole rebuild. But we had a lot of players that are on IR, and so we didn't get to see Christian Wilkins, a mid-season form really, because they got hurt in game 5, week 5. Our
than that, but still, yeah, he got hurt. Coombs, he's
right off the bat,
right?
Yeah,
in practice before the season even starts.
Yeah,
then you have Marcus Epps go out early. You had fucking, you got a lot of players that went out early, and the only reason we have the offensive line that we have playing right now, which is playing somewhat okay, is due to injuries on the offensive fucking line. If it wasn't for fucking Andre James,
yeah,
JPJ would not be fucking starting at center. Now Andre James is not hurt, but who keeps playing center?
JPJ.
Why? because he's obviously the better choice. Meredith.
JPJ plays with violence. And I know it gets in his way sometimes.
Himself?
No, I know it gets in his way sometimes, but Andre James didn't play with violence. No. JPJ plays with violence.
JPJ plays like a Raider.
Yeah.
I mean, flat out going. But I mean, Meredith, I think maybe if he's had more time to play in as a starter, I think he could come into the position. He's just been a dead piece and only comes in during injuries. And I think that's what's hurting him right now. I think Meredith has potential. Now, can we get an offensive line coach who could bring it out if he could become, earn the starting spot? He is youth. He is young. I believe he's only in his second or third year. So I think the possibility is there. That's only going to come with time, though. He didn't start off this way, and it's going to come with time. I'm not going to disagree with that statement at all. But it's only going to come with time. He's a rookie. He's learning at NFL. He's trying to be quick because he understand. I got to snap the ball and come up quick. And so, maybe he gets a little ahead of himself in doing that. But I think this time under center, and then going into next year, being the starting center, he is going to fucking improve, and you're going to see a very big. I mean, Savage has pointed out certain things, certain blocking assignments he's whiffed on as a center because he just doesn't have the experience in the NFL. He has experience as a center, but college is different than NFL. He's got to learn to be able to know when to fully engage or chip block and be able to, come off. He's got to learn. There's a reason why a lot of rookies don't start right a fucking way. It's still a rarity in the NFL that you get a rookie who can start right away and be productive right away. Now, I would take running back and wide receiver out of that conversation because it does happen a lot more in those two positions. But those are that's different in going because route running. Brock Bowers, he has excellent route running. He's a savage, goes. But there's a reason why he can play all kinds of different positions and get himself going. Now, if he was an offensive lineman, a quarterback, a defensive lineman, going on defense, even defense, I'm only taking those two positions away because even a safety, even a linebacker, there's a lot of people that do not, get it right away and be able to go. It takes time to learn the position at the NFL Raider, at the NFL level.
At the NFL Raider level. Well, going off of that,
there and it just clicked. Sorry.
Going off of this, going off of this comment, it was a good segue that I needed for the next one. Wait, Jason says it's actually the motion of his arm. Shotgun is short stroke and quick. Under center is motion longer, and it throws him off. He needs 500 under center snaps to adjust. He never had under center. And I can agree because a lot of offenses nowadays, whether it's college or NFL, there are a lot going in shotgun. I just think, like you said, Asylum, we get a good offensive line coach. Offensive line coach, like for the full year, because I know Philbin's in, and he's a decorated offensive line coach, but he just came in a few weeks ago. That's something you got to kind of work through the offseason. These little trying to change the way the way he's used to playing the game as an offensive line because players are quicker, players are stronger, and they're faster. Quick and faster, two different things. They're quicker and faster and stronger. So that's something he has to adjust to. Other things that he would do, like you were mentioning, like on that one blitz play, I think it was last week on the goal line. Against the Buccaneers, he fully engaged. JPJ fully engaged on a guy to his right. He had no one covering him. He fully engaged to the guy with his right, even though Meredith, I believe, was on that right side. Kind of really had a good handle on him, and that defensive end just looped around. He pulled a stunt and went up the middle, went up the which would be the A gap the A gap of the right next to the center, so right next to JPJ. JPJ didn't see him, so he had a free lane going to the quarterback. What he should have done, JPJ, was, okay, yeah, put an arm on that guy to help Meredith keep him in check, but keep all this open just in case someone comes around and you can go and engage on him. So these are things that he has to learn on this level. The good news is that he's learning it now, because he wasn't even supposed to be playing center. When Andre James went out, he moved over. He was playing guard. So he started off as a rookie guard, but then he moved over to center, which is supposed to be, because he came out center guard. He came out of the draft center guard. So now, give him a full offseason, like you said. Get him used to snapping straight to a quarterback under center. He should be able to get that whatever the issue was. And, of course, playing with different quarterbacks, too. I remember when I played high school football, I was playing tackle, but the center of my team, he hated when the backup quarterback would play center, because when he'd go down and he'd put his hand underneath, he would, flick before the ball snapped. And when you flick and you hit that bottom of the ball area you hit that gooch area, stop doing that. Fuck, stop doing that. So he'll flick, and he'll in the center, he'll kind of flinch when he would snap the ball, because he hate when he goes down and say hut, and he hated that flick, because I hit you in that as a guy, that sensitive bottom of the sack, stop doing that. Well, the other guy was more.
Jason Kelsey talked about that, and he didn't like it when the quarterback wouldn't put his hand there, because as he put it, I need to know where to put the ball. And if I don't feel pressure in that spot, I don't know where to put the ball. Yeah.
So playing with different quarterbacks and all that can also throw your snap, because some guys go in and some guys are kind of like, a little, and then it's like, yeah, I want to be able to naturally just second nature snap the ball to a spot. And now I have to think, okay, so-and-so's in. I got to go, way back in there. Or I got to, so this is why I didn't want to play center. I said, no, I'm good. So, yeah. Basically, okay, you're hitting the bottom. You're hitting the bottom of the shake, okay? Stop. Don't stop doing that, okay? But going to this.
I'm going to have to go with you. I know you played offensive line, so I'm going to have to go with you. And Jason, I don't know if he played offensive line. I don't know if he played, whatever. But, with sounding there for JPJ, I'm going to have to give you guys on that one, in going. I know there's nuances.
Yeah. There's little things within the game, and especially when you have to work with another player, like a snapper to quarterback. Quarterbacks are all different, and especially if you're going through different quarterbacks in one season and you're a rookie and you got to know how these guys are. See, look, he knows. See, he knows. He's in the trenches.
I was not on that side of the ball, so I'm going to have to go with people on this, the more experienced people on that one,
Hey, right here, you know what? I'll go. Sorry. So again, sorry. Sorry. You know what? He said lots of running. I played left tackle senior year, left offensive tackle senior year. I was small, but I was quick. So as long as I got the ball before the defensive end did, I got him. As long as I got the ball before the defender, like if I'm down blocking, I got him. But my favorite was if I was the backside tackle, so the play is going to the right, and my job was to chase a linebacker. I love chasing linebackers. I love to just release, because I had the speed to run and keep up with the linebacker, and I would just blast him right when he's like about to set. He doesn't see me coming. Boom! I was always legal. I never got flagged. I got flagged one time for. It was either a holding or a false start, but it was like we were confused on what we were doing, and I forgot what happened, but I never got flagged for holding. It was a false start. I had one false start. In my varsity career, and then one false start in my freshman year. But outside of that, I knew how to cheat. I knew how to hold. I knew how to grab. I knew how to face mask without getting called. And when I became a offensive line coach, the next 2 years after I graduated, I taught the players how to hold and cheat, and the Raider way. That's what I did. So
Raider rule number 1:
cheating is encouraged.
Raider rule number 2:
refer to rule number 1. Oh yeah, see, and that's the best part because they want to say D tackles are they're badasses and all that, and yeah, offensive linemen, we're silent assassins. If you don't hear our name, that means we're doing a good job. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I wanted to bring it back to Tanya's comment here, or a question, I should say. Do you feel Antonio is a good fit for the Raiders?
Well, did you freeze?
No, well, I was going to let you answer first.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that was a good segue because I had this clip of what Mark Davis, he was asked this question about, the future of some players. So there's like a 3.5-minute video of what he said because it all ties together where Mark Davis, going off of what you said earlier, you never know what Mark Davis is going to do. So here's that clip right here. This is him at the owners meeting in Arizona last week. Here we go.
How would you kind of assess where the team stands and more big picture? How do you feel about Antonio Pierce as he gets close to going into the second year as head coach?
Well, I think you guys can answer where we're at just as good as I can. I'm very disappointed, obviously. We want to see progress and things of that nature. There's no excuses. We have had injuries and all of those things, but the team figures out how to get around those issues. The bottom line, as I've said all along, comes to me, and if there can be finger pointed, it's me. Because again, I'm the one who's hiring the people to make the decisions on the field and everything. There's a misconception that I'm making a lot of decisions on the football field and everything else, and I continually tell you all that I don't. That I do delegate to the people that I hire. I give them goals, and then get out of the way and let them try to do it and let the results speak for themselves. And at this point, obviously we're not happy, but you have to go through the season and then you evaluate. And right now I'm not in that position of evaluating anything going forward.
You had mentioned Tom playing a role in the football operations, and that was going to be, determined as time went on.
Correct.
Can you anticipate that he's going to be?
Well, one of the things is when Tom was hired, I promised that to Fox that we would not get in the way of Tom's job, that he's going to be able to create and be one of the best announcers in the game, and that anything that he does with the Raiders will become in the future as far as that goes. Obviously, I talk to him all the time, and his input is greatly valued and will always be valued, and we'll see as time goes on how his role evolves in here. But he's very excited about it, but again, we're respecting his obligations to Fox.
I'm just curious, in your mind, have you figured out how much of a voice, Mark, that you want Tom to have?
I want Tom to have a huge voice. No question about it. And again, like I said, it's part of building the infrastructure of the organization, which is something that we didn't have a football person on that side of it. That's not a coach or general manager, but somebody that can oversee the whole picture. And I believe Tom, in time, will be the person that can do that.
In talking to people who know Tom and work with Tom, one of the things when I've asked him, what do you think he brings to the table, is they said that he understands excellence on every part of the team, not just on the field. Do you get that in your conversation?
No question about it. And he's competitive, but he's very thorough in everything that he does. He's got a great ability to communicate on a level that people can understand and not try to talk over them. I'm excited and really grateful that he's part of the Raiders organization.
What are some of the things that has impressed you about Tom Telesco as a general manager?
He's very even-keeled. He knows talent pretty damn well. We had a good draft for us last year. I think our first 3 picks are starting now. He does a good job.
And when it comes to, last question for me, I know you say you're still evaluating things this season, but when it comes to Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco, are you evaluating them as separate entities in terms of how Telesco's doing on his?
Yeah, they didn't come in as a team, and so they are individuals.
So you saw right there, everyone's also saying Tom Telesco and everything, throwing at him in the mix of will he be here next year, and Mark Davis says he's going to evaluate them differently, unlike when he fired McDaniels with Ziegler, and then
Yeah, but they were together though. They
they were tied together. When it comes to does AP fit the Raiders, I say when it comes to the Raiders, I think AP what they look like now, I think AP is probably the only fit because what coach is gonna want to come over here and deal with whatever, and that's the one thing with Mark Davis that he has to do is stop having this coaching, like we're gonna keep switching coaches because I like this guy. Oh, this guy looks nice. I'm gonna go after him, and you gotta let the coaches build. And that's what I was saying. What I was trying to allude to earlier was that we all knew when AP got hired, he's a rookie head coach. We all knew when AP got hired that he only had a full year of NFL coaching, and then he had like a half a year after that of NFL coaching as a linebacker coach before he became the interim head coach. Now you saw the numbers, the turnover of how they performed, and he got them to within one game. They lost to the Colts last year too, Minshew, coincidentally. Coincident that where we basically that was our last hope right there. And yeah, what Mark Davis said, yeah, every team has injuries. And Asylum, you had said before we got on air that the Lions have about 20 people on IR right now. But we have a lot of like key injuries that just like every game, it's like we sacrifice somebody. Maybe we sacrifice the player every game to get to the number one spot of the draft. I don't know. But it seemed like every game somebody's out. Next after the game's over, so-and-so's on IR. So-and-so's on IR. So-and-so's on bench. I'm surprised Nate Hobbs wasn't put on IR because he's missed the last 5 games.
No, he played this last game.
He played this last game?
Yes, he played this last game.
Wow, I didn't even notice he was in there. But it's and if you hear like all the different podcasts, like I said earlier, Ocho Cinco said that Ocho Cinco mentioned on the nightcap him and Shannon Sharp that AP didn't get a fair chance, and then Shannon Sharp. Richard Sherman said that AP didn't get a fair chance. Even Adam Schefter, we played the clip earlier going into the show, that even he said that it didn't. He was kind of behind the 8 ball. Basically, he didn't use those words, but basically what he was saying was he didn't get like a fair shot. But I mean, that's what happens, and then as a rookie head coach, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to build off of what I did last year. Going into this year, we got the same players on offense. I'm on defense, and all we got to do is fix the offense, and we should be good. Wrong hire, Getsy. Wrong hire. Okay.
Wrong hire.
And then you had, and then Minshew was named the starter going into the offseason, going into the regular season when it should have been O'Connell. Yeah, the theory was, okay, maybe because the offensive line was still, a question mark. Minshew would be more mobile to get away from, the pass rush than O'Connell was. But Minshew, whatever it was, if it was Getsy's offense and no one knew what was going on, huh?
He'd run in circles. He'd run in circles. You saw Desmond Ridder. Did he run in a single circle? Did he try to
run? No. Yeah.
Did he go to the offensive or to the line of scrimmage and then run sideways? No. When he decided to go, he ran forward. And that's what Minshew has not done.
And so, I mean, I guess, and I know the result 2-11. 2-12 right now and everything, and then this past Monday's game just really looked bad. It just really looked bad the way it was presented, but that was on the offensive side, which we've been having the same problems throughout the whole year.
Well,
and special teams, they somehow they've been kind of iffy the last couple of games. Well, the Chiefs game, and then they were okay against the Buccaneers, and then just the blocking scheme alone just kind of it was bad. So I would like AP to get a second chance, Now that he understands, okay, I did a full year as a head coach. I'm a full year as a head coach, not just interim. And I think what he needs to do is not have so many, just coach like he did last year. Because last year's squad, and yeah, that was also true. JPJ, he wasn't able to play or practice because he was hurt. I think he was activated in the second game. I think.
I don't
in the
think
season.
Game. I think it was further out than that, third or fourth.
Yeah. But when it comes to AP, I just think I understand the idea was to have veterans around you, veteran head coaches around you that teach you along the way. But it seems like they don't even know how to do that, because you would think that some of these coaches, Marvin Lewis, Joe Philbin, I don't count North Turner because he just got into the building a few weeks ago, but these ex-head coaches would have been like, hey, this happened, like in the game. So I feel like AP just minimize the head coaching people, coaches on your sideline, because he did well when it was just him on that sideline last year. Like I was saying, there was no other head coaches on that coaching staff. When McDaniels was fired, there was no other head coaches. Now you had head coaching candidates, that could be head coaches like Patrick Graham. Maybe I'm forgetting his name right now with the long hair, old man. He was our defense coordinator. Rob Ryan, maybe Rob Ryan. I know he tried to go for the Raider job a couple years back when they were still in Oakland, but I just think maybe there's too many people in his ear, and he's trying to coach perfect, then just like as a player, just go with the flow of the game, use your instincts. And I think he was just maybe trying to think too much because he had too many people in his ear. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. It could cost him the job because of that. It could cost him the job because of the hiring of Getsy. A lot of this still falls on AP. There's no excuses in the NFL. Yeah, there's injuries, but it still falls on AP to get the team over already. So, I mean, it's the NFL, not for long.
Not for long. Well, I mean, I agree with you on the former head coaches aspect on here. I think maybe there's just too many on the team. Yes, we both agreed early on in the season it might be a good thing, having this experience there. I do agree with you there. But to answer Tanya's question, I think AP is the right guy. I do. I agree. This is, his first year. So he's going to make mistakes. Whether it be too many head coaches or former head coaches, I should say, they're in his ear trying to tell him what to do. And I really think what you were starting to get to and saying is maybe not in the beginning, but towards the middle and the end of the season, it seems like he's coaching for his job. He's too worried about his job instead of just. And when he was interim, he didn't have that worry because he didn't even know he was going to go for the damn job. He was just, I'm the head coach right now. Let me make my decisions. Let me do. And it comes with the whole fucking, God damn it, what was his name? Got fucking fired because he, took time off, took plays off, then said something on the sideline.
Marcus Peters.
Thank you, Peters. And I think that's the same kind of shit you need going on with the number 18 guy, Jack Jones.
Jack Jones.
I'm saying, he need right now. It just feels like you said, he's coaching for his job, and that's how it's going. And I think it's showing a little bit. He's got the players playing, and that's one thing we were talking about earlier. You don't see a lot of coaches being able to do with a losing season like we got going on right now. Yes, you see it with Dan Campbell because they're winning. But let's say Dan Campbell being 2-12, are the players going to play, for him like they're playing for AP? Maybe
he was 3-13 in his first year.
But were the players playing like they're playing now for AP? Were they in on a lot of these games? You know, we have a lot of games that we should have won. Should have. Yes, we shot ourselves in the foot. Yes, AP made some mistakes. Luke Getsy, to be honest with you, I don't know if that was an AP hire or Tom Telesco hire. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't know who made that hire, who made that decision. It was not our original way of wanting to go. You know, injuries, JPJ, injured at the beginning of the season. Kuntz, injured. I mean, yes, you know, it's always next man up. But to be honest with you, did we have the depth in key positions with a rookie head coach? This is still not 100% his team.
That's true.
This is still partly Josh McDaniels' team. You know, Sean Payton, we brought him up multiple times. You know, his first year, it wasn't his team. How well did his season look? They finished dead last.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he was able to get his quarterback, his players. It's starting to be his team. I think AP needs that opportunity. I agree with you. Maybe not. I wouldn't mind keeping Philbin as offensive line coach. I wouldn't mind doing that, giving him a full year working with this offensive line. But maybe it's time for Marvin Lewis. You know, we know Norv Turner's not going to be here next year. You know, going. You know, when we were talking about, you know, these possible, maybe it is too many people, and maybe he needs to have the reality put in front of him. Somebody, player, maybe Max Crosby needs to go into his office and say, you know what, stop coaching for your job and just coach this fucking team. You know, somebody in there to do that, to get him back on that line that he was last year. But to me, I feel he's the right coach. We'll go to the Chiefs game. We'll go to the Tampa Bay game. We'll go to this last game. These last three games that were straight garbage. I mean, we were out of the playoffs. There was nothing, you know, to go for. No reason for the players to play like they did, you know, to play like they're playing. You know, a lot of them could be like Jack Jones or whatever and just give up, you know, but some of them are playing, yes. You can turn around and say they're playing because they're auditioning for teams next year. They're auditioning for whatever. But a lot of times they can turn around and only do the bare minimums and still say, I was on a second team. But these players are playing to win games. They don't give a flying fuck about the draft pick. They want to go out and win games. And there's not a lot of head coaches out there who could get that kind of motivation out of their players with this kind of season. So to answer Tanya's question, in my opinion, yes, AP is the right coach.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the same thing I said after they got rid of Carr. Whatever, you know, Carr made a lot of stats, you know, number one passer in Raider history, whatever. No playoff wins, 2 playoff appearances. No, yeah, 2 playoff appearances. He got the team to the playoffs, but he got hurt before. That was 2016. He got them to the playoffs, but then he got the one against the Bengals, which they lost by the whistle. But I was afraid to move on from Carr because I didn't want to deal with going through so many quarterbacks, like when Rich Gannon had to retire after that hit he took against Derek Brooks when they played against the Buccaneers in 2005, when he went head on with him and broke his neck. We had
his imitation of a lawnmower.
Yeah, basically, yeah, grass in the face. You know, after Carr, then we had Stidham. Then we had Garoppolo. Then we had Brian Hoyer. Then we had O'Connell, who finished out the season. Then we come back. Now we had Minshew. Then we had O'Connell. Then we had Minshew. Then we had O'Connell. Then we had Minshew. Then we had O'Connell. Then we have Ritter. And then again O'Connell. And it's like, I didn't want to go through that instability again. You know, there was no backup plan after they got rid of Carr. So it's like, do you have a backup
plan? Head coaching as well, though.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Do you have a backup plan? If you get rid of AP, what you're gonna have to make that call right the Monday after Week 18, the Monday after the Charger game in Las Vegas, you have to make that call on what you're going to do with your coach. If you fire AP then, who are you going to get? Because once you fire AP, most likely Patrick Graham's gone. Unless you elevate him to head coach, Patrick Graham is gone. Patrick Graham is gone.
I don't see that. If they get rid of AP, I don't see them elevating Patrick Graham. I don't see that. I know
he
Jeff
survived.
Yeah. And you bring in another defensive head coach like that, it's going to be a whole different, and that's the thing with what we talked about with head coaching. It's the constant turnaround at all coaching positions that's going to be affected here. Offensive line coach, your defensive coordinator, your offensive coordinator, which obviously we need an offensive coordinator regardless. But your linebackers coach, your goddamn offensive line coach, your defensive line coach, your running backs coach, your wide receivers coach. I mean, there's a lot of coaching that goes involved. And then what's going to happen if whoever, Vrabel, fucking now at least it's not Belichick, but Vrabel, Johnson, whoever the fuck you bring in, and then he doesn't succeed in his first year because he had, again, all these players are having to learn a new system, learn this, learn that, get going. Is everybody going to ask for his head too? Or are they going to give him a second year? And if that's the case, why don't you give AP the second year?
Yeah. Take off Bill Belichick off this list. And yeah. And then not only will they lose the entire locker room, like you said, Asylum, when the new head coach comes in, he has to go through the whole roster and get rid of guys and then reload on guys that knows his system. I mean, that fits his system on both offense and defense. So it's a new head coach is going to be a whole new overhaul. That's what McDaniels did with John Gruden's roster. He gutted the whole roster, and look what happened. So now AP is dealing with a gutted roster.
Anytime you change head coach, you need a minimum of 3 years. Sometimes it happens in the second year, but generally it's that third year when the team is 100% his. There's no excuses on, going because, to be honest with you, the Andre James signing, there was a lot of free agent offensive linemen being signed at the time. But at the same time, with a new head coach, how is this shit going to work? How's it going to go? Did he want Andre James, or was that this safe bet because he was on the team? You get him under contract, this, that, the other. Speaking of contracts, why the fuck hasn't Spillane been re-signed already? I'm holding fucking Telesco accountable for that right now. Should be no excuse. It should have happened 5 games ago at a minimum, to go. And I swear to God, if he leaves, that's going to be the biggest fucking loss that Telesco has, and I might even ask for his fucking job after that.
Especially if he makes it to the Pro Bowl, which he looks like he should be going to his, I want to say his first Pro Bowl. So come on. And that's the one thing. Okay, re-sign him. We got the money. We have the money, and I still have that graphic up. We have the money at the Devontae Adams trade. We have the money right there. So, come on, at least get Spillane before he hits the open market and the teams overbid for his services. And
too expensive. You have the chance now to sign him to. I mean, it's not going to be a cheap contract. I'm not going to say it is, especially with the way he's been playing the last couple of years. But you have a chance to lock him up now for a lot cheaper than if you let fucking the chance of free agency be there. Yeah, and go. This is your chance to, lock him up for 3 years, and fuck, I don't even want to try to go on price, but it's going to be one of those things. Here's your chance. I mean, he's only 29 years old. He's getting into his prime, and he's been, I know it came down to what was the point? Oh, he couldn't do this. He couldn't get interceptions. He
wasn't good at pass defending.
Yeah,
he was a good pass defender.
Yeah, it does. It does not look like he's made a single Pro Bowl, so this would be his first.
Yeah, so
hey,
the man.
But here's your chance to lock up a younger guy. I mean, again, 30 to 33 is like prime for a lot of fucking players. I'll say 28 to 33 is the prime for a lot of players. He's just in his fucking prime. Lock his ass up for that prime. Then you can put, it's one of those. Now it's just pieces there. Another linebacker, another fucking corner to go, another safety. I mean, the defense don't need a lot of work, but you sure the hell don't give him a chance to talk to other fucking teams.
Yeah.
You
lock him down now because it's been a long time since we had a consistent linebacker. I know we've had, shades of linebackers here and there. Probably maybe going all the way back to, why am I forgetting his name?
The last one would probably be Kirk Morrison.
Kurt Morrison. That's what I was thinking, Kurt Morrison.
And
then before that, Greg Beaker.
Yeah. But,
So
it's been a while. Linebacker's been a hole for us. Now, we've also had defensive coordinators who didn't believe in linebackers. We put ourselves in a lot of situations, like that. But here's a chance. He hits that open market and gets to talk to teams. Now you're talking about a 50, 60, $70 million contract for 3 years where you can probably tie him up and get him for, 3 years, $40, $50 million.
Yeah.
Especially if you still got AP as your goddamn coach.
Yeah.
Who AP was the linebackers coach. What position does he fucking play?
Linebacker.
So, there's this ties in here. He's found a way to get the best out of Spillane. On the defensive side, AP's gotten the best out of the players. So he's got to learn, get the offensive coordinator. Like I said, I want to know who hired Luke Getsy. If it was AP, give it to Telesco. Right? If it was Telesco, then give it to AP. Whoever that decision was, if it was Mark Davis, then fucking goddamn it, give it to Telesco and AP and let them build this fucking team.
Yeah.
I doubt it was Mark Davis. My money's on it was Telesco because they were in panic mode when Kingsbury left.
Yeah.
So either go the process the right way with Telesco or give it to the head coach and who the fuck do you want as your offensive coordinator? Then go out and try to get them. Who's your 1, 2, and 3? Plain and simple. Who do you think will benefit? You can focus on working on defense and all this other shit because there's a chance Patrick Graham is still not going to be back next year. So I trust AP on the defensive side of the ball, whether it comes defensive coordinators or not, but go out and get that Bellamy. Go out there and get, the Giants head coach or offensive coordinator, whatever it is that Jeff is wanting.
Daywall.
Daywall, that's it.
Well, the head coach, yeah.
Head coach, yeah. Go out and do something, but let it be, if AP's got to fucking sink or swim with his decisions, give him the fucking opportunity to do this. I just feel like Getsy was not his decision.
I think even Minshew wasn't his full decision. Like I said earlier.
No, I agree with that too. I agree with that too. I think that was the Telesco and Getsy combination. Yeah, I think it was split between Getsy and AP or Telesco and AP, between O'Connell and Minshew, and the third person in that room was the tiebreaker, which went to Minshew, which we've said from time to time, we do not feel Minshew won the job. We don't feel it was the right decision. And again, I think if O'Connell was in the fucking this last game, I think we win the game. I think if O'Connell actually gets to start against the Jags, we beat the fucking Jags.
Yeah. And that's going to mess up our draft.
You know me though. I don't give a flying fuck about our draft position. I know people want to take for Sanders, all this other shit. First of all, I don't want Sanders, and I don't want the number 1 overall position. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want it. I'm happy with 3rd. I'm happy with 5th. I'm happy with whatever comes up as long as it ain't fucking 1 and 2.
It's too much pressure.
Well, I mean, all of our great quarterbacks have either come free agency or not in the first fucking round. Eldridge Dickey, first round. How'd that turn out? Stabler, who was taken in the 2nd round, got the job. Dickey didn't fucking even make it. They even tried changing his position, and he didn't make the fucking team. You know, in the first round, the Raiders have not had the right talent in place. And we're talking about with Al Davis making the picks here, especially in the first couple of rounds. And Al Davis is considered a genius, all this other shit. And he still struggled at picking quarterbacks in the first fucking round. Again, I'm happy with taking Travis Hunter and riding with, other situations. We talked about all kinds of bridge gaps. I said my part. I want to give O'Connell all of next year. It's your fucking job. See what you can do. Prove that you could be either a franchise quarterback or you're a career backup. But give him the year to prove it. And then, because I like a specific quarterback that should be out next year, and I want to even sell the farm for him, and that's fucking Arch Manning.
What up, Brother Twan? Basically, what we're saying is, yeah, Mark Davis, smarten up. We won't know what's gonna happen until it happens, I guess, to the end of the season, until it happens. So that is our show, because we're about 21 minutes over. That is our show. We want to thank everybody who was.
It's like, according to your fucking things, if we could be 15 minutes late, we can go a half hour over.
Yeah, well, there was a tornado that hit here a couple days ago, so grade 1. Okay.
That shit, that wasn't even a tornado. It was just a high gust of winds, okay?
80 miles per hour, okay? I wasn't even here. All right, we want to thank everybody for watching the show. We had good numbers today. We appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you like our content, we did put I'll call it a reel, but a short out on YouTube. Check that out. Mr. Bean on a roller coaster basically describes what we go through as Raider fans. Us diehard, experienced ones, huh?
I said every season.
Every season. We want to thank everybody in the comments who joined in with good input and questions and everything else like that. We'll come back on Friday. We talk about the Jags game, which that could be a first game, a first win right there, because they got their backup quarterback. And if O'Connell was starting, that could be good for us. If you just want to see a Raider victory again, I do. I'm hard-headed. I'm like, just win, baby. That's what I want. So, but until then, we want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. Well, coming on the show. Coming to watch the show. And, yeah, so with that said, any last words?
On the show. I kept that as being on the show.
Yeah. Any last words, Asylum?
No, fuck Shador. Fuck the number 1 pick. Happy birthday, Alicia, and go Raiders.
Hey, happy birthday to my sister, Alicia, out there. I still see her as 12, even though we're like in our 30s now. But I don't care. She is very successful now, and I want to attribute that to myself. I helped her.
You had a big part of that, right?
Yes, I did. So just win, baby. I helped her in college. I flunked so she can. I tanked so she can succeed. Okay, that's what happened. All right, everybody. Want to say good night. Take care. See you on Friday. We end every show like we always do with a word from Raider Milt, aka my former high school coach. He was on the defensive side. Coach Wallace, rest in peace, Coach Wallace. Huh?
He was on my side.
Yeah, he was on your side. You know, just loud and just talk mess. That's all. So
what we do best.
What we do best. So I want to say thank you. Take care. Have a good night. See you on Friday, and we'll talk about we got
coming up.
Yes, hyping up another game in a 2-12 season. All right, everybody. Take care. Good night, and see you at the end of the week. Oh wait, hit the wrong button. Here we go. Bye.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.